Looks like we are live. Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to Dr. Selfridge Live. First order of business, make sure you let me know how the sound is. I seem to have new sound adventures every week, but the new thing this week, and hopefully let me know if I'm loud enough, the new thing this week is I'm trying a new microphone, so a little bit of a different setup there. So just let me know if you can hear me okay, if you need me to turn up. Of course, make sure the volume on your wherever you're watching from is turned up, but let me know if I need to be louder. It's great to be back. We were gone for a couple of weeks. Couple of things happening. Had a lot going on with school. The big news this past weekend is we had, seems low. Okay, someone said the volume seems low. Okay, well, let me see if I can turn it up a little bit. I'm going to go here. So we're a little bit louder now. Maybe a little bit louder there. Let's see how that is. So anyway, the big news is we had a really wonderful final competition for our marching band last weekend. We had our championships we were in Allentown, Pennsylvania, which was a really nice place. The weather was perfect. It was beautiful. And we had a really great performance. The kids were super excited. It was a fun day. And then also what's been happening is our school football team, which is really good, has been in the playoffs. And then not last night, Friday night, the team had a really close game and a tough loss. So we're out of the playoffs. So football season and marching band season are officially over. What I'm going to do, I'm going to say hello to Dennis, because we haven't talked to Dennis in a while. So let me bring you in, my friend. How are you doing, Dennis? Are you with us?
Yes, I am. I'm doing well, Steve. And you?
I'm doing great. Good to have you back, or good to have us back, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you were up to last weekend, but the weather was just so beautiful for our final marching band competition.
Yeah, we were down the shore.
Perfect.
Yeah. That is one of the good things of having it.
Yeah. And it was really just, it was actually the first time in many years that we've had really that kind of weather for our marching band final weekend. So it was great. So here we go.
Awesome. I'm ready.
We ready? Ready to rock? Okay.
Yep.
So we're here. Dennis keeps an eye on the chat for us and maybe brings out some questions that I might miss, or requests that I might miss. So speaking of questions and requests and things like that, we're going to dive right in to say hello to some people. Okay, so let me turn on my comments here. There we go. And Mia is here. Mia Ann says hello. Hi to Mia. Good to see you. Angel is here. Hi, Angel. So folks, remember, you can pop in your requests of what you'd like me to play, or things you'd like me to teach you, questions you might have about playing your instrument. Just let me know. We have our first request in here. Mia is requesting Here We Come A-Wassailing on the flute. We are into that season. We're officially into the holiday season. I don't know what your preferences for the holidays, but I like to get right into the Christmas spirit right in November. Of course, in band class, we have to start practicing. If you're a musician, you may already know this. We have to start practicing our seasonal music way ahead of the season, because we need to be ready when the season hits. So if there's any Christmas type music or Hanukkah music or any music of the season that you want to work on, I can help you with that. So we can start doing some of that stuff today. We have Here Come A-Wassailing is a request. I'm going to get a few more hellos in, and then we'll do that, okay? Terry is in the chat saying hello. And let's see here. Angel is saying hello again. Hi, Angel. Folks, make sure also, especially if you're asking a question, I always say this, let me know. I'm looking up on my microphone here. You guys can't see it. Hello. That's my new microphone, which is why the volume might be a little bit different today. Let me know, especially if you're asking a question, what instrument you play, how, what your experience is like on that instrument. Okay, let's see here. So we got that one. We got that request. Let's see here. I'll move down the list here. Matthew is checking in. Says hello. Hello, Matthew is a regular viewer of the channel here. Let's go down, see who else is checking in. Leonardo is here, running a little bit late. That's okay. I was actually running about a minute late. So Leonardo, so the competition was interesting. There's a lot of bands there, and there are different size categories of bands. We were in the group 5 category, which is the largest group. We have about 96 students in our group, and the group 5 is marching bands of I think it's like 95 and above or 90 and above. So we did not come in first. There was a good number of bands there. We did well. I would say our students were super proud because we literally had our best performance of the whole season on Championships Day, which was awesome. That doesn't always happen. So we were very happy with our performance. I'm trying to remember who the top band was. I actually can't remember. But the best part of the day was that we got to see a lot of different bands, see a lot of different shows. Kids had a fun time. There you go, Eric. Thank you for asking. Yeah, we had a great day. Mia says my school's football team is competing. We won 41-14. Wow. Yeah. This year, so the football team at my school has always been very, very good all the time that I've been there. This year we were in past years we would be beating teams by like that kind of margin. This year the games have been a little bit closer. And then this past Friday night, we had a really tough loss. We lost by 1 point at the very end of the game. So, okay. Hi, Judy. Good to see you here. Angel says, I need help playing the 3 lower notes. Okay, so Angel, let me know what instrument we're talking about here, and that will help me answer your question, okay? So let me, there we go. Oh, there we go. Very next comment. Angel said I play clarinet. Okay, so I'm going to answer Angel's question, and everybody else chime in with your question. So my clarinet sounds fuzzy because I didn't warm it up. Oh, look at my reed. I don't know if you guys you can't quite see. My reed has a little chip on it. Maybe you can see if I do overhead. Overhead camera, where are you? Here we are. Can you see my reed has a little chip on the side? Has a little chip on the side, but sometimes even if reeds have a little chip on them, they can still play. Obviously, if you're getting a lot of squeaking and it's not working the way you want it to, you don't want to switch. Okay, so this is to answer Angel's question about the 3 lower notes, A, B, and G. So on the clarinet, you've got, oh, look at this. I'm going to show you. This would be a good overhead cam for this. All right, so you put your thumb on the back. That's your first home key on the top. That's an F. Then you go first hole here. That's an E. You add the next hole. That's a D. Can I get two copies of me here? Go. That's kind of in the way. I'm going to go. All right, so F, E, D, C. Now, what you're asking about is these bottom 3 notes right here, right? If you put down your first finger, it's a note called B flat. Most of the time we're learning this note B natural at the beginning. So middle finger, B natural, or plain old B. And then you add this finger and you add this finger. So B, A, G. So I'm going to go back to this view here. The reason that a lot of young students have, or beginners I should say, have some trouble with these lower notes is because as you add fingers, if your fingertip is not completely centered and covering the entire tone hole, the note isn't going to work because the clarinet is designed just like all the woodwind instruments, flute, clarinet, saxophone, bassoon, oboe, recorder. As you cover up the holes, the instrument is effectively getting longer, 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 and that makes the note lower, lower, lower. So if any air is leaking out where it should not leak out, that's why we have problems. So, all right, so what I recommend is, first of all, make sure your top hand, your left hand, is completely covering the holes, You get a nice clear sound. listen to what happens if I just move one of my fingers just a little bit and create a tiny air leak. Listen. Hear that? That's the sound that you hear a lot in beginner lessons. Make sure you're completely covering the holes. Here's the trick. Cover the tone hole and then look. Here, I'm going to go overhead cam. Look at your fingertips, and you should see like indentations of the circles of the keys. Watch. I'll go really close to the camera here. I'm pressing down real hard, and then, do you see the circles on my fingertips? Because I was pressing. So that's what you want to look for. If you do that, and then you look and you see just a partial circle, well, you can see you're not covering the hole all the way. So there is some helpful tips to help you get your low notes on the clarinet. Okay, I'm going to go to Mia's. Thank you all. I see a lot of questions in the chat, and I'm going to get to them. I want to get to Mia's request, which is up here. Here we come, A-Wassailing. That's an interesting one. So you guys know so that one I could do just by ear, because I know it starts on do. Do, re, mi, re, do, re, mi, re, do, do, so, 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 so. Okay, so I could pick any key I want. Maybe I'll do it on, I don't know, D major. No. I'll do good old B flat major, okay? Okay, here we go. I got it. Boy, that one gave me a run for my money. Let me see if I can find a play-along track. Here we come. This is an interesting song because I was teaching this song to my students literally just this week. We were playing like an arrangement of it. And I'm looking up the sheet music, by the way. And one thing that's interesting about this song is it starts off in bum, ba, bum, ba, bum in 6/8. We call it compound meter. Ba 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 ba. It's called compound meter. Then it switches to usually 2/4, which is simple meter, where it's two small beats per beat. Bum 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 bum. So it actually changes the time feel. Let's see what we have. Excuse me. Here's piano. Pardon my coughing. Oh boy, that sounds. So anyway, I don't know if I'm going to find a good play-along track for this. I'm not. But that's basically it. You start on any major scale. Do, do, re, mi, re, do. I was playing it in B flat. Fun song. So that's a nice request. Thank you, Mia, for that request. Let's go to some more questions. Some other questions, I should say. Okay. So, I want to make sure I pronounce your name. So I'm just going to call you Eddie, unless there's something else you want me to. If you could help me pronounce your name, that'd be awesome. Eddie, I play euphonium and play baritone TC music sheet. Band teacher says I have to start doing bass clef. Okay. Here, great question. Here's the deal. So, there are, when you play baritone or euphonium, right? It's like a small tuba. Typically, what they are supposed to read is bass clef music, all right? Now, over the years, something called treble clef baritone music evolved, and I think that was mostly because trumpet players who were used to reading treble clef, C, D, E, they would switch over to baritone. Maybe their embouchure, they wanted to play a lower instrument instead of a higher instrument, and so maybe their teacher would switch them over to play baritone. And then to save them the step of having to learn a whole different clef, bass clef, we started creating what's called treble clef music for baritone. So they would transpose it up like it's trumpet music, and you play it like it's a trumpet, but it's coming out as a baritone because it's a baritone. Long story short, I think you should start training yourself to understand bass clef. It's really not that hard. So when we're learning about to read any music on a clef, we have something called, we can use called our hand staff. So our hand has 5 fingers, and it can be a handy, no pun intended, it could be a handy little way to represent a staff. So you got a line, a line, a line, a line. And your thumb is shorter than your other fingers, but it's still, that's the top line. Let's just pretend. So we're looking at bottom line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We always name the lines of the staff from the bottom up to the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now on treble clef, or the G clef, right, which higher pitched instruments use, it's E, G, B, D, F. And there's all kinds of ways of remembering that. Little memory tricks. The one that we learned, the old-fashioned one is every good boy does fine, or every good boy deserves fudge. But there's some maybe newer kind of fun ones we can say, like, every good burger deserves fries. I like that one. If anyone has good ones, put them in the chat. Empty garbage before dad flips. That one's kind of funny. Elephants got big dirty feet. That one is a little bit grammatically suspect, but that's a good one. Dennis, when you were in elementary school, did you take like classroom music and learn every good boy does fine?
Yes.
Yeah. So have you ever heard any of these new ones that they come up with new ones?
I know.
Every good boy does fine. Every good boy deserves fudge. But then there's some other good ones. The thing that, all right, so let me, I could talk about that for a little while, but I'm going to skip ahead. So for bass clef, it's just a different memory device you need to use. So G, B, D, F, A. I like this one. So the old-fashioned one is good boys do fine always. But the one that I like is good burritos don't fall apart. Good burritos don't fall apart. So it's G, B, D, F, A. Now, I'm going to say one more thing about that. Excuse me. When I was younger and I learned EGBDF or GBDFA, it made sense, I guess. I didn't really quite get it. I didn't understand, well, why is this G? Why is this B? It seemed kind of random to me. This may seem silly. You might have already realized this, and you'll think I'm silly for not realizing this when I was a kid. I didn't realize that line space, line space, line space just goes up the alphabet. So we know the musical alphabet goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and that's it. Like there's no note called H. There's no note called I. It's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then it goes to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, all the way up, okay? So if you're on a G here in bass clef, you go up one. The next note up from G, because we don't have an H, the next note up from G is A. We start over again at A. So this is A. And then what comes after A? B, C, D, E, F, G, A. And that's, if it's easier for you to remember good burritos don't fall apart and just go off of that, that's fine. But you can also just remember literally, if you can remember that this is G, you can just count your way up your alphabet. So I know this is G and my note is here, okay? G, A, B, C, D, E. And you just figure it out like that. And after a little while of practicing it that way, you will start to just memorize and you'll know right off the bat, you see that, boom, that's an E. I don't even have to think about it because it's ingrained in my brain. Okay, cool. Let's see here. More questions. All right, Leonardo wants 12 Days of Christmas on the flute. We can do some of that. I want to answer maybe another question before I do another request, okay? So Riker is here, and that's a Riker. It looks like you might be a new person on our show, so welcome to the stream. I don't think I've seen your name before. Riker says, I play the bells. By the way, I hope you're still here because I know this question got asked a few minutes ago. I play the bells, and every time I play a note, it echoes to... I don't know what you mean by the end of that. It echoes. Oh, too much. Got it. The H didn't get on there. Right, echoes too much. So here's the thing. I know what you mean. If you play a fast song on the bells, so the way the bells work, do I have any with me? No. So the bells are like a little xylophone with like silver keys, right? Silver bars. And the thing about the bell kit is when you tap it, it vibrates and rings. And there's really no way to stop it from ringing unless you put your finger on it and stop it from ringing. So typically, if you're playing a bunch of notes in a row, they're going to kind of meld together a little bit. I wish I had a bell kit here to kind of demonstrate, but I know what you mean. I would say, Riker, don't worry about it echoing too much. It's kind of designed to be that way. So if you're playing hot cross buns, 1 a penny, 2 a penny, hot cross buns, it's going to kind of, they're going to kind of overlap a little bit, and I wouldn't worry about that. Unless there could be... No, I can't even imagine what would be something wrong with your bells because there's really not much to it. They have the two little screws that kind of keep them in place, right? Each bar. And then there's like a little felt or rubber thing underneath which kind of keeps them from buzzing. So I would say don't worry about that. That's just the way the bells work. On a piano, we have a... piano kind of works the same way, right? Except there's a pedal where you can let the string ring or you can stop the string from ringing. Okay. Robert, a good friend of ours who's here quite often on our stream, plays saxophone, bari, tenor, C. C? What's C? You play C melody sax? Those are pretty cool. Leonardo, let me help you with this. C, D, E, A flat. So are you talking up here, Leonardo? Top of the staff? Now, when you say you need help, let me know if do you need the fingerings or you need help with the embouchure. Basically, here's the quick story on high notes on the flute. When you're working on getting clear high notes, work on your octaves like this. You do your octave with your lips, make your air hole a little bit smaller, more focused, and push your lips out a little bit towards the outer edge of the embouchure hole. And here's a great exercise. If you haven't, I don't know if you've done this one. Do the octave, right? But then keep pushing your lips even further, more focused and a little bit further out. And what you do is you get your first overtone like this. I'll show you on a G. Hear that? That third note that I played is not really, it's not the correct sound because it's not the correct fingering, but it's the second overtone of the bottom note. So it's called overtones. So note, octave, fifth. Wait, am I saying that right? Hold on. The fifth, okay? So doing that helps you refine your embouchure when you're getting into high notes because that's the kind of embouchure we need to use to get the really high notes. Sure. Okay, so let's do this. Let me see. Let me do some playing some playing requests. I'm looking at these different Heather said every good boy deserves fruit. That's a good one. It's a healthier one than fudge, right? Let's go back to some requests, okay? Let's see here. There we go. 12 Days of Christmas on the flute, Leonardo. So I'm going to look this up. You guys are getting me in the spirit. 12 Days of Christmas sheet music. Do any of you out there have a favorite tune or favorite melody from the holiday season? Like a favorite, what's your favorite Christmas carol? Or just holiday song in general? Okay, so I'm looking for a good one here, a good play-along track. There's really not... I thought there would be more out here. Let's try this one. It's for piano. I'll show you what I'm looking at in a sec. It's a piano arrangement. So this is interesting because it's the melody's on the bottom. All right, I'm going to try to play this. I'm going to play along. Interesting. All right. So what we have here is like a sort of like a creative rearrangement of the melody, and it is a long song. So I can, a lot of times when you have a long song that, especially if it has a lot of repetition to it, which this one does, sometimes arrangers will come up with creative ways of changing up the chords underneath, which is kind of cool. Okay, so let's move on. Let's do, here we go. Let's see. Oh, okay. Leonardo says, having trouble on the high A flat on the flute. Okay. So, we talked about flute fingering charts, right? So you can literally just look that up. That's one of the higher notes on the flute. So high A flat. I'm just going to show you how to interpret the fingering chart. So I found this fingering chart. This is maybe a similar one I've used before. Here we go. If I can zoom in, here we go. So here it is. G sharp, also known as A flat. It's the same note, okay? So you do no thumb, no first finger, second finger, third finger, pinky, pinky. All right, so no thumb, no first finger, second finger, third finger, pinky, pinky. And whenever I'm doing a new note, especially if it's like a high note, I check the note an octave lower. That's the A flat just above the staff. So to get that to come out clearly, this is what I was talking about before, where you really have to work on refining your embouchure and getting it just right and just on the right spot on the flute to get a clear sound that sounds nice to listen to. So, there's a great way to practice it. Just go back and forth. Okay, so give that a practice, or give that a shot, and let me know how that works for you. Okay, Moko M. That's another new name. Hello. Up on the housetop on the flute. Perfect. This one I can do just from memory. This one is in. By the way, depending on how long you've been playing your instrument, a great resource some of them are on the easy side and some of them are a little bit more challenging. I have holiday duets. So on the website here, Dr. Selfridge Music, let's check it out. Here we go. So Dr. Selfridge Music right here, and easy holiday duets, free sheet music. Click. Flute. And what's cool about this is, all right, we're going to scroll down. Jingle bells, jolly old St. Nick, good King Wenceslas. Here we go, up on the housetop. And what's cool about this is you've got an A. Let me zoom in. I'm going to get rid of this side panel here. We don't need this. Okay. You've got an A part and a B part. You could zoom in, or I'm going to zoom in so you can see. I'm going to turn off my camera so you can see the music better. You could just play the A line. Now, when you do this, you have to look. I started here at A, and then you have to skip. You don't do the B line. You go A, and you skip down to this A. All right, I'm going to zoom out, and I'm going to play the whole thing at kind of a quicker tempo. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. That is a nice, it's a great song for someone who's been playing. Maybe if you started band in September or October, that is a totally achievable song that you could do in November or December. It's only 6 notes. Okay, Santa Claus is Coming to Town is a good one. I bet if I look, there's got to be a play along for this one. Santa Claus is Coming to Town, sheet music. And Leonardo, should I play it on flute? Let's see. That'll probably be the easiest one, because here's another piano version. Check it out. Ooh, jazzy. Music away. Yeah, I guess they want you to go buy the sheet music, so that's why they didn't put the complete sheet music there. Dennis, I'm gonna ask you your opinion on tunes of the season. Do you have any favorites?
Yeah, all of them.
All of them?
Yeah.
Are you?
You've lived looking like Santa Claus all your life.
What's
you
that?
Tend to appreciate all of, when you live your life looking like Santa Claus. You tend to do that, but actually. Adeste Fidelis.
Oh, perfect, because that Mia requested that. Mia said, "Oh, come ye faithful." That's Adeste Fidelis, right? Yeah,
that's right.
Adeste Fidelis in the Latin. So
yeah, well, I like it when we've done them. When I was in a group doing shows, they usually do it, and then they switch from the English to the Latin.
Right, right.
You know, which is it's a nice effect.
Cool. Well, maybe
Yeah, but,
that's perfect timing because Mia just requested it, so I'm going to play that now.
cool.
So, Mia, maybe for you, I will play it on clarinet because I think you play clarinet, right? So, let's say, "Oh, come all ye faithful," and let's see if there's a play along track for this. Piano tutorial and sheet music. Trumpet duet. Oh, this is cool. So let me show you what I'm looking at here. Here are my options. Piano tutorial and sheet music. Piano sheet music. Maybe I'll do this one. I wonder if they're going to take the sheet music away like they did. Let's try it. But I have to, the thing is though, I have to transpose it now. Okay, so I'm gonna transpose this. So don't know if you have tried transposing before, but when you have to transpose from piano sheet music, what we call concert key, to clarinet, we have to go up one whole step. So there's a couple ways to think about that. I could look at every note and mentally transpose every note up a step. So B is C sharp, C equals D, B equals C sharp, A equals B. That's one way to do it. But the better you get to know your major keys and your major scales and your solfege, do, re, mi, fa, sol, I do it through solfege, which means I'm looking at this, I see, oh, we're in G major, it starts on the third note, starts on mi. So mi, fa, mi, re, do, ti, do, fa, mi, re, do, 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 sol, do, I just do that in my head, but I do it in A major. Let's try it. Let's see how successful I am. Okay, all right. Squeak, restart. You know, I'm sitting kind of awkwardly because I have to hold my clarinet up above my, there's my excuse. I'm holding my clarinet in an awkward position. Take two. Okay, same channel. It took the music away. And I figured out why I was having, if you don't mind me giving a little bit of an excuse, why my one note was always giving me trouble. I think this clarinet is having a little bit of problems right in this area. These fingerings that kind of cross pinky. If you're ever having problems like that, if it could be your fingers, or it could be, you know, your clarinet needs a little bit of a, you know, maybe a screw is coming a little bit loose, or there's a pad that's not quite covering completely. So, let's see how we're doing. We're doing pretty good on time. We have about 15-ish, 17 minutes left. So let's see here. How's everybody doing? Any more questions here? Oh, look at this. Yeah, we got more. The instruments are much louder than vocals. You mean the background music? Is that what that means? Or you mean... yeah, because I'm trying... I have a new setup today, like I said. So I could... Just let me know if when I'm playing along with the background music, do I need to turn the background music up or turn it down? Let me know. Judy, can I play Lean on Me on a flute? Sure. I could do that. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Let's see. I know this one. It's pretty easy to play, but it might be nice to have a backing track. Let's see if I can find it. Lean on Me backing track. Oh, here's like the actual real like karaoke track. There are times in our lives. I'm curious what key this is in. It's in C. It's kind of slow. That's okay. Let me know that backing track if it's too loud or needs to be louder. There's another verse before the Lean on Me part. It's pretty easy to play. It's just basically the 5-note scale. Oh yeah. That's a nice tune. It's a very nice tune, very catchy. So I was like trying to look in the chat to see like how the balance is, like if the backing music is too loud or too soft. Okay, Santa Claus is coming to town. Oh, I think I just did that. Oh, our friend Jacqueline is here. Hi, Jacqueline. How are you? Happy Sunday. 8 Days a Week by the Beatles. Let's do this. Let me do E major scale real quick. E major scale. So real quick, I'm going to show you on the piano. So E major scale. We've been doing a lot of major scales with my students in my AP Music Theory class. Kind of like really just drilling the major scales, because you in order to do the more advanced stuff in AP Music Theory, you really have to be like super on the ball with your major scale. So we do a lot of just review and sort of testing each other to get better at it. So anyway, every major scale has the same relationship of notes. meaning you start on the root note and you have to go a whole step, half, whole step, whole step, whole step, finish with a half step. So that's why we end up in an E major scale with 1 sharp, 2 sharp, 3, 4 sharps. These are the sharps that you use in E major. Okay, so taking that onto a flute, we're going to do E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E. Wonder if I can do that with overhead cam. There we go. I'm going to take this off so you can see my fingers better. And the second octave. There is your E major scale. Cool. All right, how are we doing on our comments section? All right. Leonardo is always great with the comments. I mean, the requests, I should say. I actually want to kind of go back and do, I'm in a little bit of a Beatles mood. Dennis, did you see, here's another question for you. Did you see the new Beatles song and all that stuff?
Yeah.
It's pretty nifty.
It's interesting.
Yeah, there's some really cool.
And scary.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit, yeah. Unsettling or something to like hear. And did you see the video? Where
I didn't.
There's a music video. All right, so there's a cool music video that's just pretty cool. Like they put together the different videos from different of the Beatles from different years, but there's also really cool analysis videos that talk about how they put the song together, because the actual song that they pulled from John Lennon's demo tape, there's certain parts that John Lennon sang that they cut out. There's like a middle section they cut out. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
It's very interesting. Okay, so speaking of that just puts me in a Beatles mood. So I'm going to play Leonardo's request of 8 days a week. Oh, okay, and Terry is saying, the speaking voice is a great sound, but when I play an instrument... Oh, you know why that is? Because depends on what I'm playing. If I'm playing flute, my overhead mic is like right here. So maybe that's why the instrument is too loud. Okay, 8 days a week by the Beatles. I bet there's a play-along track for this. Sheet music. Let's see what happens here. So we have about 8 minutes left. I'll play this song, and if folks have questions or anything like that, go ahead and pop them in the chat. Let's see here. 8 days a week, sheet music. I do need the sheet music because this one I actually don't know like well enough to... I'm surprised I'm not finding more sheet music stuff on here. Let's try this. Here's what see what we have here. Huh, all right. Not a great sound, but okay. Huh. So, they have it all blurred out. That's kind of annoying. Oh well. Well, maybe we'll table that one for next time. Let's see. I'm going to say hello to some more people here in the chat. PVT Private Mussy. I guess that's how you would say. Hello. Thanks for being here. I'm doing great. It's a beautiful day. What's a half note? Oh, I love this question. Very, very straightforward question I can easily answer for you. Half note. All right. A whole note. I'm going to start by teaching you a whole note. A whole note is an oval. Looks like that. All right, it's like an oval. that means, in most cases, 99% of the time, that means to hold the sound for 4 counts, or you tap your toe to keep track of how long you're holding the note. So I'll use clarinet because you asked about clarinet. By the way, whole notes and half notes and things like that, they're the same no matter what instrument you play. It's the length of a note. So a whole note is 4 counts. So in my head, I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, but my note's going to be steady. And then I stop after I've filled up all the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, stop. You don't stop right on 4. You stop after you've filled up beat 4 and you're about to get to the next beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, stop. So now a half note is half of that. It looks like an oval, but it's got a line coming off of it, a stem, an open note, an open oval note with a line coming off of it. It's a half note. And in your mind, instead of, so for a whole note, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, stop. A half note is 1, 2, stop. 1, 2, stop. So in my head, I'm thinking, stop. And I'm counting 1, 2, stop. But on my clarinet, you shouldn't be able to hear, it should just sound like, ba, stop. I'll show you. Ready, go. Like that. That's a half note. So, great question. Leonardo, and mostly let me know if that answered it for you, okay? Leonardo says, I just found out E major is the same as C sharp minor. Yes. So you're on the right track. Yeah, I mean, I would say yes, but I would want to explain that a little bit further. Meaning it's not literally the same, like an E major scale is different from a C sharp minor scale because you're starting on different notes. But they're the same because they share the same sharps. So I play E major. Oop, turn piano up. I'm keeping these sharps. To play minor, I'm just going to start here. So that is what Leonardo means by saying they're the same. And they are. Same sharps. Just start on a different note. Joelee LV. Hey, Doc. How you doing? Getting colder? Woo! North of Toronto, I bet. So, Dennis, did you happen to notice what the actual temp is today? I think it was like...
45.
Say 45?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had our... So Friday night football game. Did you follow any of the football? Do you follow any high school football, Dennis? You just kind of...
I do, yeah.
See what's in the paper?
LaSalle.
What's that?
I still follow LaSalle.
LaSalle, right? Yeah. So Friday night was probably, well, you saw that our team, Garnet Valley, lost, right?
Yes.
Or you heard me mention it. But I would say Friday night was the first really cold, actual feeling like cold football. It was pretty chilly. So I can imagine, well, I'm trying to imagine how cold Joelee must be up in north of Toronto.
Oh, absolutely.
So actually that takes us pretty much to the end of our show. So Dennis, if anyone chimes in here on the chat, I will say hello, but pretty much wrapping up at this point. But any big plans this week, Dennis?
Yeah, we're just trying to get some things done. I've been doing some projects. One is my cousin from my father's side has all these pictures, so I've been scanning them in for her.
Oh, yeah.
Together.
Very cool.
And 2 weeks ago we had a massive cousins reunion on Chrissy's side. We had it at our clubhouse here in the development, which is nice. It's a great facility.
Very cool.
So doing a lot of that kind of stuff.
That's awesome. And we're just
going to the shore.
We're going to the shore, and before you know it, it'll be the holidays, Thanksgiving, all that jazz. Okay,
hey, my friend.
Well, thanks again, Dennis, and we'll everybody say thank you to Dennis in the chat, and we'll see you next week. And everybody, thank you for joining us once again. Real quick, Leonardo chimed in here. What's a whole note? So Leonardo, hopefully that explanation I was just talking about earlier for Private Mossy, the whole note looks like an oval. You just make the sound sustained for 4 counts. So when you say how can you play it on the flute, it's the same as any instrument that you use your air for. You sustain your breath. I'm going to say your breath. You sustain the blowing of air for 4 counts, and then you stop just as you're about to get to the 5th count. 1, 2, 3, 4, stop. In my head, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, stop. And the speed that you do depends on the tempo of the song. If the song is at a speed of this, 1, 2, 3, 4, stop, or 1, 2, 3, 4, stop, it's a longer note, right? Okay, so folks, that brings us to the end of the show. When we finish, you're going to see that screen, which is how you can reach out to me or follow me on social media and stuff like that. But until next time, I hope you'll come back to our live stream, 3 o'clock, Sundays. And occasionally I'm not able to do it because of school stuff, but generally we're here most Sundays. So look forward to hopefully seeing you all back here next week, maybe some other folks. Oh, real quick. Okay. Oh, Mason, sorry, I'm not going to be able to get to that today. Judy, you're welcome. Thank you, Leonardo. It's my pleasure. That's what I'm here for. You're welcome. Judy's from Kenya. Wow. That's cool. Good to see you there. Good to see you here. And I hope you're doing well there. So, okay, everybody. I will see you in a week. Please come back and bring some friends. Until then, have fun and don't forget to practice. See you later. Bye-bye.